Hello, 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 good morning all. Is my voice audible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'll just give a couple of minutes more to let other folks join, and I think we are then good to start. Let's wait for a couple of minutes more, then we'll get started. Okay, let's get started, guys. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our today's session. I'm Varun, and I will be your host and trainer for this particular sessions. Uh, with that note, I'll just give a quick introduction that what I am doing and what currently I'm working with. So, myself, Varun, and I'm working as an SCM functional consultant with one of the top US firm. I have an experience of about 15 years, and I have done multiple implementation projects which involve basically from 11i to Fusion as well as R12 to Fusion. SCM is my core, and that's my main focus of area. I'll start a quick round of introduction from you all guys, so you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Uh, so can we start with that?
Hello, this is Gargya Himadri.
Hey, hi.
Yeah, I am from Vijayawada.
Okay.
I've come across this course through one of my friends. I just wanted to explore and grow in this domain. As you can see, switching a domain or getting into a new domain is has become a new trend these days, and also
Agreed.
uh, there is a lot of exploration we can do by switching domains.
Okay.
As I have already switched 2 domains and I've learned a lot. Actually, I'm into marketing, but
Okay.
then I've switched domains internally only.
Okay.
Yeah. So looking forward for the sessions and looking forward for a great career.
Great, great. So like you're switching the domain to have more insight of SCM training, right?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Next one.
Yeah, I can start. This is Hari.
Yeah.
Based in US, I'm in Central Time Zone.
Mm-hmm.
I've been attending a couple of Unigig courses. I've done my OIC last December.
Okay.
Recently, I've joined the Oracle in the cloud training as
Okay.
such.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm now trying to switch towards this because even then, when I was I was actually looking for an SCM training, and this would be a best fit for me. The
Right.
reason why I'm learning this SCM is like my core has been always Oracle Financials.
Okay.
Uh, Recently, I changed my job, and then now I'm into consulting.
Mhm.
Earlier, I was working for a client,
Okay.
but
Okay.
now with this consulting, I've been assigned an SCM project.
Great.
So that's
Great.
where I need some basic knowledge of inventory, order management, and other stuff. That
Perfect.
would be a good foundation for me.
So basically from technical background.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely. Yes.
okay. Okay. This will be great because in the market also it's like more of techno function which is growing up right now.
Correct.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, like when I said financials, I was mostly 70-80% technical, but at the same time, I used to do all the helps to the financial folks on the
great.
setups as well.
Great. 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 Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Next one. Okay. Sure. I think we are done. So, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So as part of our today's session, let's first have a look at the agenda. So my point and or more main point which I want to convey is like I'll keep the session a little light. I'm much of a believer of having an interactive session where we'll take the light time examples and how dealing with like multiple clients. I know what type of expectation, like if you saw with the energy resource utilities, manufacturing industries, semiconductor industries, they all have this SCM cloud. Basically building upon this and how they interact and what are the business capabilities and what are the business challenges which we come across. So I'll give this session as much more live, where I'll share my personal, or I'll say the personal experience with different clients which we had and what are their expectation and how the SCM cloud is growing in the market. I'll keep my pace as moderate, but please feel free to interrupt me whenever required. If you have any doubt, you can unmute yourself, ask any question, share your doubts, and let me know if I can solve them, and be a more collaborative session where we can discuss much of the things and how a productive session can now come out, which will be my main aim. You will be initially on mute because that's to avoid the background music, but please feel free to interrupt me whenever required. You have any doubt, any queries. So if you can see my screen, this will be our agenda of our today's session. So give you a lifetime example of how a manufacturing industry or a semiconductor industry have started to elaborate or collaborate with SCM Cloud. What are the different product families which we have? Then what are the families and what corresponding SaaS, PaaS, and IS software application which Oracle has started to provide, and what are the different capabilities. If you see, each year the Oracle comes up with different capability as he has to also go with the corresponding market, understand the different components, and with that cloud capabilities, it has more of iOS operations also being started with them. So to be in the market, changes are required. Even Gmail, Hotmails are different mails are what they are trying to have different capabilities which they can elaborate and come to the market. Next, we'll also look at the technical components, like what are the different technical components, just an overview, like being a consultant, what we need to understand and what we need to adhere so that we can aware of, okay, technical guy, we can help you in this possibilities. And during the course, also we'll understand the different course content which will be covered. And after completion of code, what will be your capabilities and what will you learn? So that will be my main agenda. I'll take a halt here. If anyone has any queries, any doubt, please feel free.
A quick question, Varun. As I said, right, I was totally on the financial side, so I have
Mhm.
no SCM background as such.
Okay. Okay.
So will you be covering inventory,
Yeah. Yeah.
orders?
Yeah. We'll be starting from scratch. No
Okay,
worries.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you could share us some technical document that as in homework we can go through, so that way we can build our.
Sure. I'll be mostly focusing on the environment itself. Like I'll take you to the SCM cloud. I'm more of a believer of a practical and a live examples, which are very much great for our future preferences. So I'll be taking directly to the environment, and definitely we can work on that. No worries.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm new to cloud as well. I've
No
been
worries.
on the R12, so it was all in-house. So it's
Yeah.
something new I'm moving towards.
Yeah, sure, sure. No worries. No worries. Okay.
Thank you.
I think we have few more folks who have joined. Uh,
No, actually, I switched my.
okay, okay. No worries. I think Gopi Chand has joined us. Gopi, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So Gopi, we just started a session. I'll just have a quick introduction from yourself so the folks can know you, even I can understand what's your expectation with this session and can serve you better.
Yeah, I'm EBS technical consultant.
Okay, okay,
So wanted to learn Fusion SCM.
okay. Great, great. So like technical SCM, complete technical, or is it like been from starting from BBS and you have some Fusion background? You say?
No, I don't have any Fusion knowledge.
Okay, great.
I'm totally into EBS.
No, no worries, no worries. So Gopi, what I was explaining to the other folks also. So if you can see my screen, this will be my main agenda for our today's meeting, and I'll tell you the course what we are doing, and basically will be a live example or a live interactive session which we'll have. Understanding what are the different business capabilities which are coming into the market, how is cloud dealing with them, what are the challenges even they are facing in that perspective. So we'll be starting from scratch and coming up to the top. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, let's start with it. If you can see my screen, this is a complete SCM corresponding. You can connect with how cloud has started to deal with the initial environment which we have. So if you see here, you must have been knowing in EBS and the R12 application, how different components are flexible available. So what Oracle Cloud has done is correspondingly, it has built its own module. So if you see for purchasing department, we have Oracle purchasing, inventory department, we have Oracle inventory, sales department, we have order management. Just connecting the dots here. If you see payables department, purchasing department, inventory department, sales department, receivable department. So our Oracle Fusion 2 has come into that same picture. And what it has started is, if you see here, the green one, which I have highlighted here, this one, this is nothing but dealing with what are the main system which is been run. So we have procurement available in SCM Cloud. We have inventory available. We have the order management available. So starting with the initial process, payables department. What I'll do in the payables department, I'll get the money. Okay. Once I have the money, I need to purchase something. So I'll go to my purchasing department. Similarly, when I have account receivable, okay, I have this much money available with me. Second, what I do is I'll purchase an item. So purchase an item, I have to check my inventory. Okay, my inventory has that item available. That means I can sell it. So there, if you can have this inventory available. Tertiary, if you see, sorry, we have the order management. So I have that item available. Now that item has to go to a sales process. Imagine similar to it as an Amazon. Okay. So Amazon, what does it check is whenever I log into an application, I check it. Okay. This is the, as a buyer, if I'm asking you that. So what I'll do is, if I want to sell this item, I need to first check that inventory. Okay, this item is available with me. Now, what I have to do with this item, I need to sell it. So that goes come to an order management cycle. If you have seen that your order is coming from a particular XYZ city, that means that order is going to multiple process. It is going to manufacturing unit from one after the other, and that is it is getting delivered. In the end, whenever that item is delivered, we have a receipt which is available on that Amazon packet, and correspondingly we have the account receivable. So that is the corresponding final thing which I get. To give an example, we have multiple option also available. Amazon is not a particular person who sells it, it's just a third party vendor, right? He has developed his platform. Similarly, what SCM Cloud also does, it has developed a platform out of it. Now this all the things which has to be done is through us. I recently, I'll share an example with this. What one of my past firm was facing is, order management does not correspond to each organization. So if you have been aware, from SCM and we have O2 O2C cycle as well as P2P cycle as well. Purchasing even in whole has a capabilities to do the transaction. Why do I need the sales order out of it, right? So what the environment does is, and how cloud are assigned is, this are individual unit. I do not need Oracle purchasing to set the item, right? So what Oracle Cloud has done is it has set apart each and each components. Okay, payables job, Oracle account payable. Oracle purchasing job, Oracle purchasing job team alone. Inventory, different modules. So although they are interconnected, because purchasing will be only done if you have inventory item available with that. Order management will be only started when you have the purchasing and the inventory available. Finally, receipt can only be generated for a particular item until that purchase order or the sales order has been delivered. This each component are interrelated, but what Oracle Cloud has done is to differentiate them all. Differentiating them has allowed him to, okay, interaction becomes more easy, right? Uh, Even cloud also face some issues. If you see the invent, well, I'll tell you a lifetime example also. Around in 2017, what happened is the purchasing was much of the most stable thing which Oracle developed first. After that, inventory has a huge amount of item which are there, right? The item has multiple categories, components available with this. So what Oracle was facing in initial issues was that inventory was not that much stable in that time. So to come up with a solution, Oracle decided to have much or more easier way of like uploading the data, interacting with the purchasing and the order management system, so that if you see right now the screens which we see, inventory selecting an item of particular screen has been enhanced by them. So even I remember we had a support request available with them. Okay, inventory is not that much stable, how we can enhance with that? Components, each release they try to enhance it and come up with more example. Reason I'm showing this slide is to give an overall feel. Okay, this is what we'll study this time, that is Oracle purchasing, inventory, order management. This three will be our main core area. Also there it will have sourcing, manufacturing, other things also available, but this, the one which I marked in green, will be our main area of point, because account payable and account receivable are more of financial part, but we'll cover them out also, because purchasing has very much interaction with the finance also. I'll take a halt here. If anyone has any queries, any doubt, please feel free to share. Please feel free if you have any doubt, any queries, any component which you want me to repeat. Guys, is the pace okay, or you want me to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, pace is okay.
Okay, sure. Thanks, guys. Okay, so this was the overall thing which we'll cover. I wanted to share with you the product families as well. What are the different product families Oracle has acquired and being available? Our main concern will be this one. If you see the block, Oracle Fusion Procurement. This is our main area of this. KPI dashboard are the some separate part, but what we'll cover is purchasing module. We'll cover the self procurement modules. What is sourcing? What is procurement contacts? What is supplier portal? And how the analysis and the spend performance is done. If you see here, I go to this. If you see, this is the financial management modules which are available. So Oracle is vast, basically. It's really, really vast. But with the market and with SAP also in the demand, Oracle too has come up with Fusion environment, which is more stable. They started with this around 2010, 2011 development, but recently they have come to a place where their Fusion procurement, even the finance, are very much stable. HCM, they are still developing. That is still to be concerned about, because HCM is not that stable. Even most of the organization do not go much with HCM. They are very much concerned about finance management and procurement. Although HCM do comes to a picture and it has a very important role to play, but generally what company covers is completely having human resource and thing covered in SCM part only. But specific picture which occupies is Oracle Fusion Procurement and the supply chain management. Uh, with an example, I'll say even the implementation projects which are currently to the market, finance implementation, Fusion implementation, to occupy, but automatically the client, to satisfy the client requirement, customer has to do HCM management only, because until we have the procurement agent assigned, we have the jobs assigned, network work done, how the payroll will go, it does not work. So this all things are interrelated basically, but our main focus area will be Oracle Fusion procurement and how the supply chain management goes completely. So if you can see here, product master data management, distributed order orchestration, global order promising, how will the cost management will be done. We'll be understanding how shipping started and different things can happen on that. Okay, so this will be our product family, just a small picture which I wanted to represent to you all, and what are the different components available. Okay, with that note, let's quickly jump into the application. This is just an overview, guys, don't worry about it. We will not go much deeper into it. What is the importance of this, because you'll all guys, if you're from ERP Oracle, we know that okay, these are the different component, but just the Fusion capabilities I wanted to walk you through. These are the different capabilities available, as well as what are the product families module available. Just an overview with this. Don't worry, we'll line by line cover each of them, so we'll get more interactive with this. Let me quickly go into our application. I log into one of the demo organized application which is available. Okay, so once I log into the application, this is your dashboard, guys. Oracle with the cloud capabilities have come up with a very good beautiful dashboard which is there. Even each component and each flexibility is available. What has enhanced with this dashboard? So this is completely hosted in cloud. Basically, the storage capacity is completely in cloud. With cloud, the data handling capacity has increased for the cloud. Earlier for EBS, they have the database table which is available. So now they have completely replaced that. Okay, storage is completely our job. Earlier, if you see from ERP, if you know from Oracle R1211i, we had procedure packages which we need to deal with, right? We need to develop complex procedure. Okay, that procedure will fetch the data, push the data in the table. But no, this all job is done by completely done by Oracle now. This is a background process which they handle right now. To just see an environment, this is the dashboard. So with the dashboard, what the first thing which we need to understand, why Oracle also had to come up with Fusion. Their 11y was stable, their R12 was stable. Why they need to had to come to Fusion? This is because the market requirement. What happened in the market is, just giving an example of Gmail, right? Gmail is same as cloud, right? It is also a SaaS application. We do not know how they store the mail, how the application is going at backend. If I drop a mail, minutes or seconds after the mail is delivered. But how that process is going, what is the REST API, what is the web service, that is not my concern. Similar happens with cloud also. How the internal process is going, how the things are going, cloud is just a thing that I've given a platform, utilize it to the customers. Same happens is the three components which we have, that is SaaS, PaaS, and NAS, right? SaaS is nothing but Oracle Cloud. Here, as a third-party vendor, what we do is we implement customer logic using this application. If you see Gmail also as well, what we happen is we have some other domain, other companies also. They use they develop their personal ID, for example, at the rate xyzcompany.com. So they have used cloud as a platform. They've started using that cloud application, develop their own domain ID, and they are using that domain ID. So Oracle, in the sense, Gmail work is also done, Google work is also done, and the application of the customer work is also done. So both of things are managed. Same happens with this. So this is a fresh environment which Oracle provides. And what as a user we do is, as an implementer, what we do is we implement customers' business out of it, right? So demand was quite increasing. Okay, data storage. We are not in that phase like I'll query the data. What is the data available? And multiple complexity. Let Oracle manage it. Then there comes a requirement. Okay, let's have a cloud where we have complete data, cloud computing data available for the user, and they can directly implement it. Okay, let's understand what are the different components which is there here. Okay, so if you see here, I have procurement. That will be a base model. Let me click on this. We have right now purchase requisition, my receipt available. Client group is nothing but completely what we'll say that completely related to HCM, that is the human capital management, where we have what is the new person, what is the journey, what is his hiring dates, different details. But procurement is something which is related to purchase requisition, how agreements are done, different components. If you can see here, we have agreements, managed buyer assignments, different option capabilities available. Next command is product management. So product management is nothing but how the items are configured. So I'm basically showing all the different components which are SCM, how the dashboard has become and where you can navigate. I'll just quickly fall back and show you once again. Procurement is the area where we do purchase equipment, purchase requisition. We create the agreement. We have two types of agreement, that is blanket agreement, CPA agreements available. So this is our main area of procurement where we'll do all the activities. We'll configure, check the things out and have the different component. Product management, so if I'm doing a purchase order of P2P O2C cycle, I need to know the items which are there. So if I want to know where these items are stored, where is this information available, I have to go to product information management where I need to check the data. There are all other modules also available, risk management, contract management. But if it is a O2C cycle where we have order to cash cycle, we have the order management tab available where different details, if you see here, what are the managed service mapping, metrics class, purchase organization, pricing administrators, completely will be done here. Okay. Tertiary, which I wanted to know, bring it to your notice, is receivables. So here we have account receivable. Basically, once the receipt is getting generated, how the account receivable does the information, finally going into that. Okay, so this was your complete overview. Okay, so reason showing that was you to tell you the tab. Okay, this is a tab which is related to supply chain management. We have different components. If you see, there will be multiple hundreds of components. And guys, just giving an information, this is more of a demo environment. It all depends on administrator team also for us, right? So they do not want us to show partner management, right? This is something different module which is available. There's an administrator role also available. You can hide these tabs basically. This is much dependent upon the business requirement or the client requirement. Okay, no deal with cash management, let it be sidetracked. But the main tabs cannot be hidden. Like suppose account receivable anyhow has to be shown, right? Contract management has to be shown, order management has to be shown. But depending upon the business requirement, it can be there, because risk management is also a different module. But no concern, if client is not implementing that, no worries, let's not do that. Okay, so this is a dashboard which is there. I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Guys, you are getting familiar with the environment, please feel free. I'll be happy to answer a question. Just wanted to know, it's more of an interactive session and you're getting the feel of the environment. Let's not rush in the first session. We'll take the things quite easily, understand each and everything, each and single component. That would be my main aim. But wanted to give you a feel of the environment so that, okay, this is a screen when we try to implement the things, we are much familiar. Okay, I know where to go, where to navigate. I'll help you in that also. Any doubt, guys? Any queries? Anything which you think, okay, should go in this way, just please feel free. Gopi, Hari, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we are good. Yeah.
Yeah, please feel free, guys. If you want to just feel free. If you have this single word which you have any doubt, any queries, now please feel free. More of it, I just wanted to keep today's session more of like explaining the things instead of getting into details, because that will make the things complex. Because we have time, we have a couple of weeks available for this. We have a very good branch also available, so we have a bandwidth for this. So instead of rushing the things, I just wanted to give you a feel, and giving example is something which makes the things easy. I'll give you one more example recently which happened with one of our chocolate firms also. So order management becomes a very much primary process. So just giving a similar example, if you would have seen that Cadbury boxes, right? What happens is at the very much of a very festival times, what does Cadbury and other brand do is they accommodate the things, right? They sell 5-star, they say dairy milk, they sell this like sell silk also, they sell other type of chocolate individually. But when this time come where there's a festival, they have that Cadbury celebration box, right? So that is also a market practice which these guys do, because they know at that time a person is in a mood of buying expensive things, right? At that, but how does that helps to them, right? This is completely order to management cycle which Cadbury runs. What they do is they accommodate the things. They have the stock available for Cadbury, they have the stock available for James, they have the stock available for this also, dairy milks. To run a O2C cycle, what they do is, okay, festival season is coming, let's make this boxes. So their job is not to make each of the chocolate, their only job is to accommodate the things. So this makes a productive things. If somehow the business does not work, if somehow the okay, my boxes of the celebration are not getting sold, what they do is distribute that chocolate, so there's no loss for them. That box has no guarantee of that. Okay, so what they do is distribution, accommodation, distribution, accommodation, more of a collaborative. This we have seen with multiple clients also. That's the business, right? We have to do a business in that way only. More of it, it's just like how packaging they do, how different component each year, if you say they come up with, okay, this one, and this is their marketing strategy, completely marketing strategy. Okay, they will do a celebration ad just before Diwali and just before some festive season like Rakhi and other seasons. What is their aim basically? Okay, this is a time where a person thinks, okay, giving a small chocolate will not be that comfortable, let's give a box. And they maintain a range of it. If you see, even though after 3 years they have maintained a single range of 100. Reason being, what we heard from such companies is that they are getting a product out of it. Even if you see right now, giving a child something, a chocolate is much better, right? And if you give a single chocolate does not work, giving him a box is the only thing. So their business growing that way. Similarly, what happened is, for one of a semiconductor firm is, I'll give a P2P example, procure to payment. They were in a scene that, okay, our P2P goes, but this is highly complex. We do not bring the items from this environment. We bring the item, we have SAP available. So how cloud will deal with it is, it has REST service and web service available. Okay, there's a third party where you bring the data. Let me connect with the system. Similarly, what happened is, that's why this Boomi application, or we'll say different type of vendor application came into access. Boomi is something which allows you to connect to two different systems. Similar, so client can have multiple requirement, but what cloud has to do is, has to define its flexibility that multiple system can align to it. I very much in the previously did a project that was connecting from Oracle to SAP. What challenges we generally face is the REST API and the web service is something which was getting tough. Okay, the SAP environment has different terminology, different terms which we use. Now that REST API or the things which connect the system, the terminology is different, variables are different. In that case, it becomes really tough for as a person. Okay, how to deal with these things. So even Oracle was getting some of this project. So what they decided, let's come with an environment. So they come up with VBCS, they come up with their own OIC system. This is very much related to market environment, and depends upon this. They charge a lot for this basically. But if as a vendor, so I know, okay, this is the system I connect, I can go to Boomi. Okay, Boomi, please connect this to me. I can ask OIC as well. I can use the OCI structure as well. So different capabilities. Oracle is vast, but our main focus is understanding, okay, how supply chain management generally collaborates with me. And just giving a tip here as well, that finance is something which does not collaborate much actually in this thing, because finance is something, a data which is very much confidential actually. So what Oracle 2 believes is, and even different organization believe, that we'll keep that in system, there's no much integration or extension for that. But supply chain is something which the information can come from different application. uh, Porting a SIM, right? That is something a same example, because the SIM number remains the same, but you change the service provider out of it, right? So data has to come from that previous service provider and has to be collaborated. Even Geo, Airtel, they are also maintaining the data on cloud itself directly. They don't have it, but still now banks are maintaining the data directly in the old database only. Reason being, they have to avoid much of this ransomware wire and different types of viruses which are there. So this is an overall picture, and how now what's cloud doing to be in the market. Because if you know, you have seen also, 73% is something which SAP gets aligned. So sorry, 74 I'll say, and the rest is with Oracle, that is 26%. So SAP, reason why SAP is more collaborative is they have more standalone. They came earlier with the things, and they have the API which is much more stable. But to be in the market, Oracle also had to bounce back. Their ERP R12 and 11Y was going really fine. completely fine. But they knew and understand this is an area, if they hit, that is the way they can bounce back actually. So then they come up with an expectation, okay, let's develop cloud, and then let's interact and make the client more flexible, because SAP still holds the market because their financial model is strong, but SCM model is much stronger in Fusion, because that is still SAP is working out. They also have to be in the market. To be on more track, let me show what are the different capabilities here which we have. Okay, so if you see, we have this three dot. This is the taskbar which is there. If I click on this, we can navigate to different options which are there. So one which we show here, this is like the dashboard which we have, or the tabs or the tiles available. You can directly navigate to this area as well. And we here also, you can see different type of management which are there: product management, risk management, subsystem management, order management, different types of load. And if I click on HCM, actually I did not got the password, but we can have multiple users. There's an SCM IMPL also available, but that was not working because this is a demo environment which Oracle provides, and it's being used across the globe. So we have that earlier they were using demo.oracle site, but right now they have retarded that link, and they have come up with a single link and single instance. So this password also gets refreshed. I have a link available where I can upload the recent password, and we will anytime when you'll go to manual practice of the sessions and take the things side, you can check the recent password and you can use it. So we have a sheet available. I'll share that sheet also with you, and you can check the data. Okay, all the setups which are done for this particular application, I can show you the navigation once again. I click on HCM IMPL, that is the user. This is the setup and maintenance. So similarly, what we call it as configuration, right? In ERP, R2L, and other application, this complete setups are more into this setup and maintenance. And giving an example, with Fusion, the work on technical load has also decreased. More of the technical is now on this is BI reports, OTBI reports, which we need to develop. More of jobs come from a functional point of view. Functional point of view means that setup, how we need to do. So give an example, suppose I do a order to cash cycle. I need to set up the business unit for my application. Okay, this will be a unit which will be my manufacturing unit. This will be my inventory, or this will be my item, or different components. I'll take a halt here as well if anyone has any queries. I'm just giving a broad variety of the different components, explaining the things, so that becomes easy. Our next session will be something which will start the things. Okay, this will the things which will configure. But main agenda of today is just to give you a feel of the environment. Okay, this is the screen. I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Gargia. I
Yeah,
have a
great.
query. So, as a SCM consultant, we'd be building solutions for the client, or we'd be servicing them? I mean,
We'll be building solution also. Correct.
solution.
Yeah.
So it is both.
Yeah, serving also we do, because they have multiple challenges. Girls, with the experience also, they can have multiple challenges also. That okay, no, I have hierarchy of environment. Just giving an example, we also face this. Mumbai is the main office by chance, if they say, and then we have sub inventory orgs. So in that case, we have to send one as the main inventory org and corresponding multiple item orgs. So it's both of the things. Item org also, I'll say business solution capabilities also supporting them in the things.
Okay. So it'll be both.
Correct.
And
Yes. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, now earlier, if you see here, these are the something which they have elaborated with Gmail and Google only. We have notification section here. If I can just show you, if you can see, these are the different entries. If there's any request which is pending on me, I have a right to directly approve and reject it from the notification area. This is the notification area which is there. If I want to see mark any of this worktion or the work which is pending on me, I can do that. Similarly, what happens when we create sales order, purchase order, We have this capabilities also. We can directly show it from here, do an action, do and perform an activity, different components. Even if there's something which you want to directly search, you can do it here, directly search option. Okay, I want to go to procurement. That's a sense. If there's a particular people who want to and to connect, so this is more of, they have elaborated as in the Facebook and other things. They can directly search an action, do an activity, more of interactive session, which was not there in R2 and 11i, because it was more of a old version. But they now have allowed the things to be more collaborative and a easy environment, or something which is user friendly. User UI is something which is okay, eye catching. Okay, this is an application which I want to use. Okay, let's go to one of the setup and maintenance, see how setups will do basically. So I click on this. If you see, setup is completely dependent upon the type of setup which we need to do. So being an SCM training, what we'll do is we go to procurement. So this will be two of our main areas where we'll do the setup: procurement and order management. Most of the setups will get covered into this. So I'll just tell you the navigation once again. HCM, setup and maintenance. So initially, by default, initial setup which comes as compensation management, but we are not the one which will do the compensation management. So our main area will be procurement. So if I click on procurement, I'll show you different tasks which are there. So here, this are the main setups which we'll do as a SCM user and as a part of our SCM training moving forward. So give you a feel of it. If you see, initially what I know is enterprise profile. These are the common setups which you do: common enterprise profile, locations setup, legal structure setup, organization structure setup, user and security. So this is also a very good topic which will come across in our second session. Purchasing categories. So this is like level 1, level 2 categories which is there. What happens is, giving a more example, suppose some clients do what do have in manufacturing is they have stations. Actually they have categories. What they do is they have a broad variety of business. So they, if they're working on boilers, right, so that will be their level 1. Okay, boiler is the main item. Until that, they have multiple components available. Okay, boiler will have chimney, they have this component that will have gas, this will have sparkle, this will have fire, that in the sense. So more example I'll work on it is, I was past few years I working was for an electronic company, which was into electronic manufacturing, semiconductor, right? So if you would have seen that 860 chip, right, even that chip was divided into the categories. So what reason for dividing the categories is making their job much easier. Suppose for an example, I'll give you Cadbury example, right? So I have 5-star, right, available. By some chances, my 5-star for a particular year did not sell, right? It did not sell. It did not go with the expectation. Now I have a stock available for it. Companies do have a possibility that they can reuse that item, first thing. Secondly, in some of the things I saw it, I have 5 manufacturing unit. Suppose one in Mumbai, one in Pune, one in Bangalore, different location. Now I know I have built that chocolate, that bar is ready for me, but the packaging is not done. I contact to Bangalore office. Okay guys, do you have this level available with you? Is the stock available, extra stock available with you? They say yes. So I'll say, just import me. Why do I should create this? That's the reason why I having a level categories. Purchasing category enhance the spirit and enhance the work for the particular user. Or a more example which considering this electric pole which was there. So they also had last my company, one of my client had, they needed they were into this poles and shipping business a lot. So they were merged into that, like setting up the street light in the US and other USI branches. What they did is, pole has multiple components, so they maintain pole at level 1, then that light, electric wires, switches internally into that. So what that does is allowing multiple interaction. Maintaining only level 1 will not help, because if I see, okay, as a user, suppose I am an administrator, I am the judge or the final person, I see, okay, we have the stock for level 1, that is my pole is ready. I am getting that expectation from the environment. But somehow the others, one of the persons comes to me, no, no, sir, it is not there. We have level 2, that is switches is missing. So that becomes very tough for me. Then how to deal with the situation? So to avoid that, what we do is have categories. Okay, let's have purchasing categories where I have items distributed into multiple level. We more of it call it as item categories, but this we'll see the importance in purchasing categories. So that's the feel of it. If I can just scroll down, we have suppliers, right? What is supplier? Supply is something which will supply me the things, right? Supplier setup is important because whom I'm dealing with, whom I am working with is really important. Suppose an example which happens very much in this manufacturing part and manufacturing industry is or the construction industry as well. So suppose I need to build a road, and how to deal with this, I need to first form a quotation. Okay, let me have this will take this much month, and I am amount given by government is this much. Okay, XYZ is the amount given by the government. Now what I do is I'll pass the tenders. So whom to invite and what I'll be the suppliers. So suppose there's a supplier whom I've already done a business. So I'll take, okay, let's invite 8 to 10 suppliers. Let's see what their quotation come up with. So this is also a great thing which Oracle has come up with. They more of it call it as sourcing, where we create a negotiation. Actually, that is right now not creating a purchase order directly. We create a negotiation first. So what happens with that negotiation is that you publish a negotiation through the system. This system will publish them as an email or notification. Even if the supplier has his own credential to this application, they can see the negotiation. To give an example, suppose I want to buy 100 electric poles. So I'll create a negotiation out of it, right? There will be 6 to 7 suppliers whom I want to interact with. So what I'll say them is, okay, this is your this is my quotation. What is the best price which you can give me? So I can compare them also. Okay, one of them is giving me this much, and with their past experience I can ask them the question. Even the question building is also available right now in a Fusion environment, which was not there in last 11 IR 12, which was very much of, okay, this is not that only you they were sending on mails. But with Fusion in the environment, there's a screen which similar to the exam form which we feel. They allow us you to fill the details for the supplier. Then I check the details. Okay, this particular supplier has given the minimum amount, and with his past record, he's someone who is very much dependent. I'll award him. Okay, you are the one which you have. So the job has become very much easier. Approval management is really important. So what happens is when you create a purchase order, right? Anyone can create a purchase order, but even we have our bosses, we have our managers, we have our supervisors. Similarly, there will be approval management. So there's a purchase order, so it will start from a normal employee going to manager, senior manager, then coming up to the last most, there's the CEO. So that type of setup or that type of approval is required. What generally company do is approval management is very much dependent on the amount as well. If there's a small amount, then the lower employees can automatically deal with it, and they can provide the approval. If the amount is much bigger, this happens in the other company as well, right? uh, Higher the amount, higher the purchase order is, the approvals becomes very much important. So final person, the administrator and administrator user, that depends. So this is something where we'll set up the approvals for the user, like who will be the person who will approve it, who will be the primary approver, who will be the secondary, tertiary. Firstly, what Oracle has done, they can have n number of approvals for it, like n number of user who can approve it. There's an approval group also. So suppose there's a PO which is created, but I was the person who had to approve it, but somehow the other reason I'm sick. So we have approval groups also. There we have multiple people who can approve me. The notification will go to all the user, and one of the user can approve it, and the job will be done, because there is no dependency or that particular person has to do is procurement foundation. So this is something, the foundation setups which we have. What are the agents, what are the payment terms, what are the basic business function which we'll do. So this depends upon the screen which we'll see, how we can differentiate what type of fields I want the user to show. If I'm not worrying about the start date and date, but as a person I'm thinking, no, what is a contract start date, what is a purchase order start date is very important, mandatory. So that much capabilities also Oracle has provided. Item is something which we'll not do, but this is an area where we can only set up the unit measure, other things. Item complete product information setup is done through FBDA, and that is the inventory part. But here I can say the what is the interclass conversion. So just to give an example of interclass conversion is giving of multiple units, so like length meter, right? So there is some instrument which I'm using which is meter, but I have to go with interclass conversion also, right? So in that case, unit of measure needs to be set up different components, right? Purchasing foundation, just giving an overall feel what. So this, like, just as an user, I'm just giving you, this will be our main focus area. This will be the things which we'll be working on actually. And this moving forward, we'll start line by line. What will be the enterprise profile, legal structure? We'll do the initially in a single setups. And doing, reason being I'm much into the environment is because giving a PPT or starting from that is something which we can find on Google also. Our main focus today is, okay, today we have given a feel, we have understand this is our area, and we'll be working on this area. We have started on the race and we is on the first point right now. Now, how once you get a feel of about different components and different organization or this different setups which you need, we'll start from initial base, and at the point will come that we have all the setups completed. In that sense, it will give a confidence also. As a person, we'll understand the cycle. That is really important. Even in a slide share, it just becomes easy, but giving a practical live example is something which will really enhance into it. And knowing the screens, what happen is in future, if you guys also work in any of the project, you know, okay, this was the screen, I've seen it earlier, I know where the setup will be, I know the capabilities. You also might have faced a situation that, okay, this is possible or not possible, right? Knowing the thing, understanding, and you can even also explore more. Okay, no, this is possible, this is not possible, similar to that. So we'll be maximum starting today was like I went to the environment, I show you what things which will work on. But main focus of our moving forward will do have live examples, lifestyle. I'll tell you, I'll share the link with this instance with you also, where you can start initial development, or we can say that we can start with that. Like, we'll have a session, then meanwhile when you have time, you can work after this session. Okay, today we learned enterprise profile, so we understood how to set business unit, what are the different component, how to set up. That is the main area. Setup is something which we know, okay, this we need to do, but how to do that, that will learn actually. Just I'll scroll down. Sales, receiving, receipt, accounting, different types of setup. To some of the things also, if you see, payment is here also, and in finance also. So what does this do is, it will allow you to set up only the things which are in supply chain boundaries. What will happen is, payment is something related to finance thing, right? But it has a capability, and supply chain also, why they have given it, because as a user, I'll not go to finance module and search the payment, right? What I'll do is, I can search directly from my SCM user also, but setup will depend. Until unless I have that provision or the right to set up the things, I would not be able to do this, right? One more thing, if you would have noticed that couple of things are marked as star and some of them are not star. Reason being, star are the one which are mandatory setups, which has to be done. If you're running a SCM business, this has to be done. You cannot run a business until you have legal structure. You cannot run a business until you have organization setup. User security, what are the user, until that is set up, not possible. If you're not dealing with supplier, no need of O2C, no need of P2P, right? That are mandatory. Purchasing foundation, why not mandatory is, reason being, already Oracle already has done that setup, but this setups are someone which we can alter. No, I don't want the template to be in this way. Manage change order template. Order template, Oracle has already provided. If I can just navigate you to this, just giving an example, we'll go in the line by line and all those things. But okay, so this, if you see, Oracle has already provided this template, purchase order, contract change. So they have done their job. They have done it. But if you see, there's an option to create template as well. So that means Oracle is giving you a provision. Okay, this is R1. If you want to use that, fine. If you want to develop your one, you can go ahead and develop that. So different types of option. That's why this reason is that this setup is not mandatory for us, because Oracle has done its job previously. If you want to use their job, it's fine. Not, then you have to do it. Why receiving is mandatory? Is receiving is mandatory because I need to understand, okay, this will be my receiving flex field, this will be my different receiving parameters which I need to use. I need to understand each business will have different receiving parameter. Procurement foundation setups can be similar to all the organization, but it does not generally happen because there's some alter. Because what happens is, no, I want a if you see, we have DFFs or we have this EFFs also in our R12 and Fusion sorry, R12 and 11i environment. What the user asks is, no, you need to store, if as a technical, if you would be knowing that we need to store it in an attribute column. Now the client has a required, no, I want that attribute also to come up into the Fusion. So Fusion will not know that attribute. So I need to develop my own field and store that attribute. So that are the different things. Coming little bit down, I'll just see we have sourcing, supplier qualification. Supplier qualification is also a very interesting topic actually. Qualifying a supplier. Qualifying a supplier means the thing which I was working. So what I'll do is, if I want to do a business, suppose me and Gopi want to do a business, right? He's a supplier. What I'll see understand is, okay, no guys, initially I need to know this person. I need to ask him a question. Is he a ISO certified or not? Is this person already, because there can be n number of user, right? I'll take a track of his records. Okay, no, Hari is the person. Okay, I've already known him, but let me ask him some questions. So that is qualifying a supplier. Already qualifying a supplier, what, how does it help is, whenever I'll start a negotiation, I'll not include that supplier if I think that particular supplier is not capable out of it, right? So this will be there. Now just a feel of it, we have it. Okay, ask pass us. This was the something which I wanted to show you guys. Guys, any question, any queries? I'll take a hold here as well. Please feel free to ask me. Hari, Harima, any queries which you have, any doubt?
Yeah, quick query there.
Mhm.
When we are talking about SCM side of it, right? So are we
Yeah, yeah.
going to cover sourcing,
Yeah,
purchasing
yeah,
method,
yeah. That all.
manufacturing lead time?
Correct. We'll cover them. Completely cover
Okay,
them. Yeah.
sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, these are the ones that I've been hearing. These are the buzzwords for me right now. Just want to understand a little bit more.
Correct. That will be definitely come because that is currently in the market a lot actually. Sourcing as
Okay.
some, I'll tell you, this was not that much into 2016-17. It was not, sourcing was not that, but recently with negotiation, how negotiation templates are getting created, Oracle has come with sourcing as supply qualification also as one of the main things. We'll cover that. Definitely cover that.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Guys, any other questions? Gargya, Hanuma?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. So just some reason I've kept the slide is because I want, right now we were talking about SaaS, that was like completely Oracle cloud application. What Oracle has provided, it has provided other type of software also, right? So a small difference easily, which will be like, just remember the difference. And anyone, if in moving forward, I think you might be knowing also what is AAS, PaaS, SaaS, but that will make the things much easier. Right now what we see is Oracle Cloud as SaaS application, because this will be terminology when you will be working on in live project. They will be asking, can you provide me the data from SaaS application? Oh, what is the SaaS? Where is this guy asking from? Can you provide the data from PaaS application? But how to be very much easy and understand that? Okay, suppose a technical guy calls you or contacts you, hey guy, please provide me the data from SaaS application, please provide me the data from PaaS application. Reason keeping this slide is, I wanted to give you a feel, okay, this is SaaS, this is PaaS and AS, how to differentiate them. So how we'll differentiate is, let me start with an example that will be very much easier. Okay, cloud. What cloud? Oracle Cloud has this. Oracle Cloud is developed by Oracle, right? So he is the main person who is owning it, right? Now there's a customer which comes. Okay, now customer does not know the setups, customer does not know how to like set up this legal entity enterprise structure, where I need to do, how sourcing, anyone explain it? So they contact a third party vendor or would serve as service provider. So we guys, suppose we six are in a team, we'll ask the client purchase Oracle Cloud and we'll be the implementator. Similarly, which you do to R12 version implementation, right? We enhance there, start from 12.1 to let's go from 12.3. So we implement their work. Similarly, what happens is we 6 guys, if we are suppose in a team, will be like, okay, this is a client, you buy the Oracle Cloud and we'll implement your business on the cloud. So this comes under service, software as a service, where cloud is nothing but the application which is completely everything will be Oracle one. Their database, application, middleware, OS, completely server where the data is hosted is completely cloud. Our six job will be to implement that thing, right? And the person client will be getting his wire. So we'll be basically a third party person who will be implementing their job on cloud environment. Now comes the pass. What happens is, giving an example, there's a custom application. What happens is, like, I need to develop, we have similarly OF and ADF, right? But they were also in the OF pages were also in the same environment. But here, what as pass we do is an application which we can develop outside the cloud environment. In that case, application data will be my own, other things, server and everything will be there. So give an example, if we have Oracle Apex, right? That is also a tool available by Oracle. Apex is something where I can develop my own pages, own, we can say, own application. That application I can connect with Oracle SaaS. So all the things, transaction, everything I'll do here, but the data and the corresponding middleware OS which will be there will be used by Oracle SaaS. So if you can see here, the one which I marked in pink, right, are the one which are Oracle one owned only. Only application and data will be there, which will be there. Reason for having pass is Oracle has limitation, right? Oracle has a particular limitation. Okay, no, you, this field name which I have given, you have to use it. But some client comes to me and says, no, yeah, I don't want this name. Develop me an application or develop me something where I can pull the data from Oracle, interact with that data. So what I'll do is I'll develop my own application through Oracle Apex, Oracle other platform which are there, or in any language I'll develop, and that can interact with Oracle. Oracle is friendly, has a friendly interaction. Okay, if you have developed that, let me connect with you, we can interact the data. Similarly, to give an example, OIC, if you see, right, that is something not, or that does not come under Oracle Cloud, right? That is something, a platform which is there for connecting two system. Oracle uh, has allowed, okay, you want to connect two different system, let's use OIC will be a layer between that two system, right? So that something which API or the things which are used, that is used as platform as a service, infrastructure as service. Here only the virtualization of server will be there, even the middleware, OS, runtime, data, application completely will be different application, right? On premise is nothing but which we see as this R12 11. This is completely managed by the clients. These are completely on premise things and will be managed by things. So we have a difference. I can give you more example of software as a service. Gmail. What is Gmail? We do not go and interact where is the data for Gmail is stored. Where is my mail? What is the table name? I don't know. I only know I have sent a mail, click on send button, it has been sent to someone, right? That is done. My job is finished. Now, suppose what happens is, as a platform of service, I want to interact with Gmail. I want to see my mails from Gmail can come to this application. What this tech guy goes, they develop their own software, their Android application, and that application has a right to interact with software as a service. So developing your application comes under platform as service, and infrastructure as service is something which is completely owned by you. Only the servers will be there provided by Oracle. Generally, Oracle and we deal with PaaS and SaaS application. ISV is something which we do not go, because in that case, there's no need of cloud in that case, right? I'll take a halt here if anyone has any queries for this. I just wanted to know, just remember this words and difference, because this will be really helpful to you, for you moving forward. Any doubt, guys?
I have a doubt here.
Yeah.
So whenever a client develops an application or something, as you said earlier, uh, would we integrate SaaS and on-premises, or
It depends upon the requirement. He can
depends
do
on
that. He can do that. Definitely, he can do integrate on-premise with software as a service, but that depends upon the requirement.
no.
Right. So suppose, just giving an example. So just giving you an example, suppose we have a third party, or I'll say it as Fusion. I want to interact with SAP application, or not even SAP. I'll say third party, any other business which is there, right? What I'll use is I use OIC as a component. That is my platform. That is my platform where I'll interact with these two guys, right? So that capability is also there. R12 can implant like interact with Fusion. So we have that capability. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. More importantly, like pass, just a tip which recently what is happening is even in on-premise also what happens is they have some environment where user are asking for custom applications. Reason for custom application, what happens is forms or the things which you see, like giving an example, I was working for one of the client earlier. They wanted an application where they can submit the timesheet. Actually, timesheet submission is like they wanted some workers. They had 10 to 11 employees. Fusion does not have any this thing, right, where I can submit the timesheet, or okay, this day I work 9 hours, this day I work 9 hours, 9 hours, 9 hours. So they wanted a custom application. Now what we did is we developed an application on Android app, right? Even we did it on a mobile app also using Oracle Apex. So that is an application which is we are owning. But what we know want to know is we need to fetch the data of what is the employee number, what is the employee details from SaaS application. Giving a lifetime example of how the things goes. So platform or the app which I have developed is pass, right? But whom with I'm dealing with is software as a service, because suppose I create an employee here in Oracle Cloud, that has to be synced to that application also, right? Until unless, because if that application does not know, okay, this employee has got created, how they will deal it. You're getting my point, right? This is more of an example how the application. So that application we developed where we allowed them to create a timesheet. Okay, this are 7 days of a week, how many hours which you have worked, that can store. So their admin contacted us, okay, we need an application, but our data is in this application, how you deal with it? So we said, okay, no worries, we'll develop a platform, we interact with your main system, take the data from there and develop the system. So that is an example. Mainly in real time or the lifetime environment, you will be always dealing with this things, platform as service and software as service. But mainly our focus or that part of training will be software service, that is understanding first the cloud environment. Okay, what are the different capabilities, and once we are done with this, I'll tell you what are the incapabilities also of cloud, and then why do we got a chance to develop the pass application as well. So depends upon the complexity of the person and what is the client requirement as well. Apart from this, I also wanted to show what is currently happening in the market, what different type of capabilities or Oracle has come. So they have started with this multi-tier supply chain collaboration also. N number of systems can interact, like n number. We had a previously had a client who was dealing with 25 system collaboration. So we did that. You can, that does not hold the application. There was, in what happens in R12 was, as the data was integrated, your application was getting slow. But this is cloud, right? So data flexibility has increased, you can store n number of data. So what allowed is supply chain was in a very much strong mode. Okay, as a Hulk type, we have multiple tier, you want me to interact with this third party, this, they can do it. Cross product procurement enhancement is also done. So actually that was, I was telling, finance is something which is a critical part for an organization, right? They do not generally want their financial data, what is the payable amount, what is things to get explored. So finance is something which does not integration has been like, they do not integrate with much application. They maintain the data in one application only, because that is something very critical data. But SCM is something which can come from n parties. If you see, like recently Amazon was the only big market, right? Amazon, Myntra. But right now if you see, similar sites have been also developed, Misho.com, this.com, they have started with there. So if you see that they also have started their own small businesses, cross product information essentials. The reason they have started with this, they know that okay, this is the market which they can hit and can earn initially, right? Or Amazon has a very big market, right? But the market which this small site have also started is, reason for starting them is they have started a breadth out of it. Okay, a small, if Amazon is earning 100, we can at least try to hit 10, 20. That's their case. So cross product enhancements will also work. Supplier can, okay, this is the one which I started. Even Recently, the service provider also started the same. You can port the SIM, you can directly transfer the SIM. That is also available. Field service preventive maintenance. So what happens is when EBS was earlier, what was happening is refresh of an environment was a really tough activity. There, if you see, there are multiple documents in Oracle Cloud, Oracle, this R12 application. How to maintain the things actually was something which was very tough, right? What Oracle Cloud has done is they have a schedule maintenance. Each depends upon the client review. Okay, 3 months you want to schedule maintenance, we'll refresh the data. Then all this configuration also get derailed, and new setup has to be done, re again the setup. But freshing an environment is also helpful. You get the fresh data each time, so that is really important. And with that, let me just scroll down. Also, I wanted to show you what are the different technical components which we'll study. Just a minute. We'll also study file-based data import process. Reason for understanding that, suppose hundreds of items are there, right? I'll not go, even the 100 is a very small amount, which I'm saying 20,000, 30,000 items are there. I'll not go by configuring each item. That is really time consuming activity. So Oracle has provided FBDI. Fill the data in a sheet, upload the sheet, and your job is done. This is like a technical component, but knowing this component is also important because you need to know the field. Web service also will understand the small and the simple web service which are there by Oracle. This web service are really, really important to understand, because there's third party or a technical person is there a web service for this? Is there a web service available for this? You need to answer it. Okay, yeah, this we have. Right? So BIOTPI reporting actually. So suppose a client come, okay, can you provide me the data of 6 months where the supplier name was XYZ? So I need to develop a query. So this only understand this are only the select star queries. Selecting a data, retrieving the data. Reporting is really, really important for all the clients, right? This was our today's session part, but I'll want to show you what are the different user content and what are the different uh, things which we'll study in this upcoming session, and what we will be finally covering up, and what will be the main agenda for this, right? So this is the set of what we learn as a part of it. The reason I'm showing this slide is this will help you much higher on this. Okay, this will be the main area, and this will be the main session which we have. I've kept the master or the initial setup, product data of inventories in a sequence. Okay, this will be done. After that, manufacturing, procurement becomes much easier. Main focus will be understanding the configuration for this, and once that is done, we'll understand the technical sessions skills initially which I was showing. And that is done, which will make the things more easier, right? And I'll give you the live projects examples also, what we are dealing with, what happens currently in the market, each of the steps. So that will enhance the capability and will help you to understand the things much better. And reason today's session was much of an introductory one. I wanted to give you a feel of the cloud environment. How does it looks? What are the different points, areas which are there? But from tomorrow, we'll start to develop and go more into the configuration setups. Okay, now let's imagine each of us as a configuration persons, and we'll be the one who will be handling the application. Now we'll give a lifetime example of, so okay, this client has come. I'll give you an example. XYZ has come with this requirement. What to do? We'll give that, have an example also, and work it out. Starting, suppose we have a client XYZ who is a manufacturing industry, or we say someone into chocolate business or any bakery industry, and how their configuration will do. We'll set up the names also in that way. So that will be a live example for you. Okay, as part of our today's session, we were into like introductory session. So this was the point which we covered, more of a get to know session. But moving forward, we'll start with the navigations, how to go, right? Okay, so anyone has that was for my side. Anyone has any queries, any doubt, please feel free.
Yes, yeah, I have one question.
Sure.
Currently, like, is planning part of the course contents, or else planning is not part of
We'll do that also. Actually, what we are planning to do, Bhaskar, is that we'll cover that as a part of manufacturing only Oracle Cloud manufacturing, and we cover planning also.
Oh, okay. Got it. And I see, like, on the technical component side, like the page composer or app composer, those parts are not there. So is it covered in part of any of the other technical side, or else?
Page composer, you mean to say personalization?
Yes, yeah, page composer or app composer. I don't know the details. I have seen
Correct.
those technical areas, so I just want to
Correct.
understand like
That
is
I'll
it
show. That I'll show.
covered?
I'll
Okay.
show. Personalization also I'll show. Actually, that is like this all SCM technical skills. No? That personalization automatically comes. No worries.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, I think we are good, guys. If anyone has any queries, we still have 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah, Hari, go ahead.
Yeah,
Just in the
is it
schedule
possible
as
to
such.
send the course contents?
Sorry, I just missed you actually. Just can you repeat, please?
Yeah, is it possible to send the course contents?
Sure. I just we need to check with the team, and then if it's possible, I'll just we can do that. I think that will be okay.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I just need to check with the team.
Okay.
I have a question whether the standard reports customization also will be discussed in the meeting.
Yeah. That's like standard reports, how we would be developing and customized report that will be there. So basically Oracle have Kalyashri is that two types of OTBI BI reports, right? So BI is
Yeah.
something which is there, standalone reports which is there, right? Where you have to
Yeah.
the drag and drop option. OTBI is something
Yeah,
which you select query. So we will discuss both of them.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, guys, I think we are good. Thank you for having and thank you for joining this session. It was really good. And moving forward, I'll buy you this 10 minutes so you can have a rest. But thank you so much for you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.